Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
On September the 4th of 2023, a taxi driver is driving late at night around 3 a.m. somewhere in the Philippines, when suddenly someone waves him down for him to give them a ride. That's when he captures this.
Saan po kayo, ma'am? Barrio? Sige pa. Wala. Diyos ko ba? Wala. Multa ata yung nasakay ko ah. Ay, shit. Wala. Wala. Multo yung nasakay ko. Diyos ko. May sumakay kanina. May sumakay kanina, pero bakit nawala?
The door opens and then slams shut on its own, as if someone entered the car. He then proceeds to ask her where she's going, but no response is heard, although he claims she told him she wanted to go to Scouts Barrio, a neighborhood in Baguio, Philippines, and that's when he began driving. But after checking in the mirror and seeing nothing, he notices there's nobody in the back seat and begins to panic. What makes this even stranger is that we can see on the front dash cam where he stops for the lady, and there's clearly nobody there. He also says that her clothes were really long and looked like that of a Jesus devotee, which adds to the eeriness of this video. Just who or what opened the car door, and will it be following him home?
I don't know about this one. It's really hard for me to gauge the reactions of people in other countries. Their behavior is different because of their culture and stuff, and the way that they react to things is a little bit different than the way that we do. Plus, him speaking in a different language makes it hard for me to determine whether or not it sounds like a genuine response or a genuine reaction. But I will say this, it does seem like that one would be a little bit more difficult to pull off as far as fake videos go. You could have somebody walk up and just open and close the door, and he could pretend like someone was getting in and out, but we didn't see the reflection or the outline of a figure or anything like that when that door opened. It looked like it opened on its own. So again, not sure on this one, but thought it was interesting enough to share with you guys.
So now AI is trying to replace prisons. This is scary. You have to watch this.
A facility designed to treat criminals like patients. Instead of spending years in an actual prison cell, prisoners could finish their sentence here in just a few minutes. Cognify could someday create and implant artificial memories directly into the prisoner's brain. These complex, vivid, and lifelike memories are created in real time using AI-generated content. Depending on the seriousness of the subject's crime and their sentence, the memories could be tailored to the rehabilitation needs of each subject. The artificial memories implanted by Cognify would be seamlessly incorporated into the existing neural networks of the brain, preventing cognitive dissonance and ensuring the subject experiences the memories as if they were real. The Cognify concept offers a new approach to criminal rehabilitation, transforming how society deals with offenders by focusing on rehabilitation rather than punishment. Cognify is then placed around the head of the prisoner. The intensity and the type of artificial memories is then adjusted depending on the crime. Inside the criminal's mind, time would pass differently, slower than in real life, making them experience years' worth of artificial memories in just a few minutes.
You know, This type of stuff is absolutely terrifying. This is the kind of stuff that gives me nightmares. What are the odds that they would only use this on prisoners? We can clearly see right now that the federal government and the World Health Organization and all these other government bodies or government entities are essentially throwing a Hail Mary pass right now in regards to their attempt at control. They're trying to get a grip on everybody right now with the technology that they currently have. So don't think for a second that they're only going to use this on prisoners. And the terrifying thing is that if they can implant a memory, they can erase a memory. They can replace a memory. You won't even remember being hooked up to this machine. You'll just have a bunch of fake memories in your head that mold you into the person they want you to be so that you'll act the way they want you to act. That's terrifying.
Y'all, it's never been this bad. We're about to see things we have never seen. So the past 3 days I've been trying to warn y'all of what's going on. It's getting worse and worse every day. And mysteriously, it just does not get seen. But all my other bullcrap does. So if you end up seeing this on your For You page, let me know, and it's really important. Let me go ahead and say it's all speculation. It's just my analyzation from the news. North Korea is going to be sending troops to Ukraine to fight alongside Russia. Do y'all know what that means? What's it called when multiple countries are fighting against multiple countries? You got it. Source. And now the Pentagon is warning North Korea that their soldiers are going to be cannon fodder. Tell me why the US would be threatening North Korea. If they're not involved, that is. But there's so much more. Germany is now urging its citizens to leave Lebanon urgently. Why? Because Israel's about to attack and invade Lebanon. Yes, biblical. And the Bible said Damascus will be a ruinous heap. Current day in northern Lebanon. And the inside paper is saying spread of the Middle East could be potentially apocalyptic, says the US aid chief. Y'all, make sure this video gets seen. This is very important stuff. And we keep saying to prepare, and people ask, well, how do we prepare for this? First, get right with God. Second, get your household right. Third, have food and water. In my opinion, things are about to get explosive, if you know what I mean.
You know, this whole war thing has been so odd. If you look back at every war that's happened in history, you can see a clear line of how they got from point A to point B, how they went from it just being a dispute into full-blown war. And there's always a declaration of war. They always declare war against this other country and inform the people, hey, we're in an active war right now. There's always that declaration. This time, it's like World War III, quiet rollout. They're constantly gaslighting us and telling us that we're not there yet. But all these countries are involved in fighting each other. We're in the middle of World War III. We're just being lied to and told that we're not. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I make a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me.
Vladimir Putin said the U.S. is now our enemy. The U.K. will be underwater. And now we got these warships and a nuclear submarine popping up 20 miles off the coast of Miami.
20 miles.
That's craziness.
That's not okay.
Guys, did you not see Dylan Page's video about it? He said not to worry about it.
Shut up!
He said
that's what the government says!
No, did he actually?
Everyone needs to calm down about these Russian nuclear submarines off the coast of Florida.
Guys, quit freaking out.
Don't freak out. It's okay. What are you freaking out about?
Don't act like any of us have any idea what the government is doing.
You can't be like, don't worry about it. What do you know?
Yeah, this is like international conflict. We have no idea. There's no way we're not going to at least worry about this a little bit.
Especially because we're Floridians.
Yeah, we're right there.
We're going to take the L.
But they're like, well, it's just nuclear powered. There's no nuclear bombs on it. It's just like, how do you know? Russians are like, no, we don't have a nuclear bomb on here.
Wink, wink.
How do we know?
In defense of that, what can we actually do?
Nothing.
So would you rather not know, or would you rather know?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. The government tells us that we can't believe anything Putin says because he's a liar, but then they tell us to believe that Putin says that there's no nukes on those submarines. And then people wonder why they don't know what to believe. We're constantly lied to. We're constantly given false information. And a lot of times they don't even have reasons behind why they're lying to us. I feel like a lot of times the only reason that they're lying to us about this stuff is it's easier to gaslight us about how we got into this situation than to admit all of the mistakes they made that led us here.
I'm going to show you a leaked photo beyond the ice wall, as well as who exactly sent it. And this place exists alongside one of the actual areas on the ice wall where there's land, but we're not sure which gate or area in Antarctica this actually is. Now, this isn't a new photo. I'm going to show that one to you next, but this is the one that came out about a year ago, and a lot of people actually think that this one is real. It shows vegetation and ice wall, and an advanced egg-like type city going on back there. Now here's the new photo of what is supposedly beyond the ice wall, which shows vegetation next to ice, which is what Admiral Byrd talked about when he flew over Antarctica. And a lot of people are thinking that this is actually up close to that egg-like type city. And now let me tell you who actually leaked this photo. The person who leaked it on their Telegram was Valiant Thor, who, if you've never heard of him, he's from Venus supposedly, and he came to Earth in the 1950s. I also did a reverse image search to see if this was from Greenland or something, but I couldn't find anything, and that's because this is unlike anything we've ever seen before, where there's ice right next to healthy green vegetation. It'd have to be super cold for the ice to stay in a formation just like that. And I also don't think this is AI generated, because there's no abnormalities in the grass or anything.
I just wanted to throw that in here because the first image that he talks about that showed up on the internet like a year ago has gotten so much traction and has become wildly popular amongst conspiracy theorists. And now we've got this new image, which I think looks even more realistic. I'm not going to say I'm convinced that it's an actual photo of the ice wall, but it looks a lot more convincing than the one that we got last year with all the weird structures and stuff in it. But I just thought it was interesting and wanted to share it.
He found this ring, a big ring, and didn't know what it was, but saw this strange writing on these strange symbols on this ring. So then he and another person walked through it to look at the other side, and lo and behold, they got into some other severe, as if they walked into another dimension.
And this ring, so the audience knows, we're talking.
Unfortunately, I can't put a 30-minute long interview in here because this one is definitely worth watching. And I don't know exactly who this colonel is that he's talking about. I don't know specifically the situation that he's describing. But if this is well documented, my biggest takeaway from it is that in the 1920s, this guy was describing watching the pyramids being built and that there were tunnels underneath them. And we didn't discover those tunnels until recently. So that adds some validity to the story of whoever's telling this. And unfortunately, the TikTok description didn't tell me who this colonel is or what this story is relating to specifically as far as the individual that wrote this stuff down in his diary. It reminds me of the Admiral Byrd story. A lot of similarities there, but I don't know who this is referring to. If anyone's aware of the actual specific situation that he's talking about here and can point me in the right direction to start studying and digging on this, leave me a comment down below. I'd greatly appreciate it.
How is it that people who used horses and buggies constructed gigantic, intricate buildings like these? They allegedly only used hammers, manual saws, and basic tools. Does that make any sense to you? Look at these grand structures and ask yourself, how could they achieve all this with such primitive methods? It makes you wonder if our historical timeline is accurate or completely fabricated to hide something. It gets even scarier. What if the dates on these buildings are wrong? Like, imagine if that number 1 wasn't a 1 at all. Our history could be off by 1,000 years. This brings us to who could have built these intricate structures. Have you ever heard of Tartaria? Tartaria is a colossal empire that conveniently gets left out of mainstream history. But you can never truly erase history, as many references can be found in old maps and documents. Tartaria was a highly advanced civilization with technology and knowledge far beyond what we can imagine. They have even been credited to have built the Great Wall of China and many of these intricate buildings pictured earlier. Could Tartaria be the missing link that explains these architectural marvels and historical anomalies?
I tell you, the more I hear about Tartaria, the more I start to wonder if they aren't the ones flying around in these UFOs and stuff that we're all freaking out about. If they were this much more advanced than the rest of us, and they saw the way the world was headed and didn't want any part of it, it would make total sense that they would retreat somewhere far away that we couldn't reach easily, so they could separate themselves from the rest of the warmongering humans. This is just an idea that I've had, but it's starting to look to me like this is a possibility.
Just look at this map from the 1500s. This was the Americas, and not only the massive trees, but the castles already there in 1500. And yes, the massive trees. The trees that we are told to dismiss what our eyes see as nothing more than just coincidence, a trick of your eyes, that all these strikingly close similarities to these ancient formations, much smaller counterparts, are just some form of pareidolia, and they're actually all volcanoes, alkanos, spewing perfect hexagonal columns, just like the cell walls of a tree, but history and geology, like the two political systems, are the wings of the same bird. That same bird, that is the system that binds us. Those bindings are the links of endless lies that form this system of control we're in today. If it was just giant trees, why would they lie to us? What's the purpose? The answer is, there isn't really much, but you must think bigger. Bigger than these trees that once soared miles into the heavens. Because compared to all the lies, the twists and perversions of truth, these ancient trees are mere saplings. But I hope with this channel that all the seeds of truth, all the questions we've uncovered will one day flourish into a forest of positive change and weaken the chains they have over us all. If not only just a little. I'll never force you to see what I see or claim to know all the answers. I'm just here to show you the possibility of something more. And to, of course, question everything, friends. Until next time.
It is starting to look more and more like all these mountains and stuff are petrified trees. There's so many examples of mountains that look like chopped down trees and look so much like it that it's almost a stretch of the imagination to imagine that it's just a mountain. My best guess as to why they would hide this stuff is that we have a lot more magical qualities to our world than they want us to know about. And so they're hiding this stuff to make us think that we don't have these abilities and stuff, and they're trying to hide the ether from us. They're trying to hide astral projection and all of these things that we could use to become more in tune with ourselves and that would grant us a deeper meaning to our life.
They did fake the moon landing. That's a fact, whether people realize it or not. Today, with 54-year better rocket designs and computer designs, the farthest that NASA can send a rocket with an astronaut into space is 1,000th the distance to the moon. That's why they're sending mannequins to orbit the moon that can't even land because they would die from the radiation. Most people don't know, which is above the Earth, starting at about 1,000 miles and extending about 30,000 miles, is a huge band of radiation that astronauts would have to go through to the moon and through again back. The technology for an astronaut to go through it to the moon and back and survive has yet to be invented. They had 1/8 of an inch of aluminum. Now, when you get a dental x-ray, they use 1/4 inch lead. And so that's for 1/24 of a second. They would be in that for an hour to an hour and a half going to the moon and an hour to an hour and a half coming back.
So I don't believe that we went to the moon, but I do think there's a lot of interesting things regarding the moon landing. Some of the stuff that he talks about here, like this aluminum foil that was on the craft. When you look at like crashed UFO reports and stuff like the Virginia incident or the Roswell incident, you hear about reports of debris that looks like aluminum foil scattered about the ground. And when they pick it up, they can crunch it in their hand. It's so thin and lightweight. They can crunch it in their hand and it will conform to the shape that they smash it in. But when they let it go, it just pops back into its original shape. When you think about that, and then you think about our lunar lander, the similarities there, it looks like our lunar lander was potentially wrapped in something that they're using on these UFOs. So if we had that technology, it was likely gifted to us. And that's how we got there, if we got there. But I used to think, if we can't get through the Van Allen radiation belt and get an astronaut into deep space, then how would an alien get through to get to Earth? Wouldn't the Van Allen radiation belt be protecting us from an alien invasion? So how would anything get here? If the alien craft has the technology to create a force field around them that will protect them from the elements, then would that force field not also protect them from radiation? Maybe that's how they're getting through and getting into our atmosphere. These are just all the things that this clip makes me think about. At this point in time, I don't have a specific idea of what I think is going on. I've just got a lot of conflicting ideas that are all fighting to see who can get on top, but it's very interesting stuff to think about.
He was camping alone.
Get away! Stay away from me!
YouTuber The Northwest Wind was stealth camping alone in the middle of the woods somewhere near Cleveland, Ohio. when someone or something decided to try and invade his tent.
Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tank. Hello? I'm getting the out of here. What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? With me. With me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! Alright, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp. Getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. Someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette! Alright, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do you have my phone? I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. I'm leaving, don't follow me! I hear you! Stay away from me! They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be around. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent! Leave my shit alone! Get bigger. Alright, let's get the bigger. I don't know if they're like after me or something, or what the happening? And they pulled the tent from the top while I was in there and pulled the stakes out of the ground. I did not do that, nor did I leave it like that. So somebody was definitely messing with my stuff. It's really creepy.
All right, I just want to say, this guy, the next time he's out camping and something like this happens, he probably shouldn't be talking to his phone. He should probably be more focused on who is trying to attack him from outside the tent. Yeah, I feel like society is ruining people. It's making people think illogically. This guy was literally announcing to his phone to his potential viewers who may never see the video because he may not make it out of the situation, and he's literally out loud talking to his phone, explaining every move he's making and what his plan is. So if the phone can pick him up, whoever's on the other side of that thin tent wall can pick him up too. They know exactly what his plans are. They know what his next move's going to be. The guy was literally making himself easy to murder. Think smarter and be more careful out there, people. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another one just like always. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're up to 71,500 subscribers. You guys are awesome. And don't forget to go to www.barry-stepp.com and order yourself a shirt or a hat if you'd like to get one. I greatly appreciate everybody that's ordered one and helped me support the channel so far. All that out of the way, before you go, I've got a couple of things to open. So I went and checked the P.O. box last week, and I got a card from viewer MTB that says Happy 4th of July and no NASA. So very awesome. Thank you very much, MTB. I also got from Caitlin Cisternas a book. It comes with a letter that says, "Hi Barry, I really enjoy your videos and appreciate your commentary. Based on what you said about the Bible, I thought you would enjoy reading the Book of Mormon, if you haven't already. I'm a writer and I really enjoy the stories in both these books, but I don't know of any other book that contains records of people who lived in the American continents other than the Book of Mormon. I am a very religious person. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I also believe that he visited the people in America after he died, as it shows in this book. Besides this, it also contains many other interesting stories I believe to be true, and it's fascinating to see how life was for these people. Whether you believe this record to be true or not, I thought you would find it a fascinating read as well. I hope you enjoy, and again, thank you for sharing your videos with the rest of us, Caitlin." Caitlin, this is not something that I expected to get, the Book of Mormon. It's not something I ever expected to read, but I absolutely love reading other people's religious texts because I think it's fascinating to see what different people believe in. So this will get read. I'm going to be honest with you. I've had run-ins with the Book of Mormon in the past, and it's definitely not something that I'm looking to explore as far as potentially joining the religion. But I will absolutely read this, and I greatly appreciate you caring enough to send me a book that you think is going to lead me in the right path. Thank you very much. So our next package comes with a letter that says, "Hey Barry, we are from the UK. My husband and I watch you all the time and wanted to say a little thank you. During the past 5 years, we have found the glasses we are all blessed with cannot be taken off, nor can they be put on someone else to see through, no matter how hard we try. This has been frustrating and at times a lonely road as for many. So what you are doing is great. We know we are not alone, that millions question everything and follow the money. Your content is also great for others who may not be aware to what is going on. We also love the delivery of your videos and the mixture of topics. For you or the family, I have enclosed one of my books I created and sell, a conspiracy theory coloring book. It's intended for a little fun, but you never know. Someone random may ask themselves, what is a 15-minute city? And start researching. The seeds must be planted somehow. We are more than we know and more than they would like. Thank you again, Janine and Nick. P.S. Big fan of the microphone. Let's get after it. Awesome. And this is the conspiracy theory coloring book. And as you can see, there are some really cool conspiracy-related images in here. There's a flat earth, 15-minute city. There's some really cool pictures in here. Thank you very much. I'm going to give this to my kids and start teaching them about some of these conspiracies. And last but not least, this is from not only a viewer, but one of our Discord members who let me know that he was sending me this package. This is from Matthew Richters, and if you are on Discord and would like to reach out to him, it is m.richters316. Awesome dude, very, very good to talk to, so reach out to him in the Discord. He sent me a gift box full of Australian goodies. We've got this cute little stuffed kangaroo, this awesome Australia t-shirt, a sticker, some cool wall art, and a ton of delicious looking Australian treats. We've got some Milo, some Tim Tams, pizza flavored shapes, gummy killer pythons, and lastly, the thing I'm most excited about because I've been seeing and hearing about it for over a decade and always wanted to try it out and see what the fuss was about. I got some Vegemite. I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to try it. This is absolutely awesome. Thank y'all so much. Once again, y'all floored me with the gifts. I don't deserve them, but I sure appreciate them. Thank you all so much. With all that out of the way, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and call this video quits, and we'll see you tomorrow in the next one. I hope everybody has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.